Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. It's time for a weekly track roundup, my thoughts, my feelings, my everything on a bunch of tracks that have dropped over the past week. Plus, in this instance, because I didn't do a weekly track roundup last week due to the fact that there weren't that many tracks because it was like a holiday week / weekend. There was not as much output per usual, so decided to roll a bunch of those tracks over into the track roundup this week. Hope you don't mind. So yeah, all those tracks that I am about to talk about are linked down below, so you can check them out for yourselves, along with our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from it if you use it to buy some records, some turntable stuff, some audio equipment, whatever it is that tickles your fancy over there. It helps out the channel if you use our link to shop. Also, on top of that, our Patreon page gets some extra bonus monthly content while supporting us in the process, access to our Discord community too. Our shorts page, where we put up lots of awesome short form content all the time. And the worst tracks of the week. They are as follows. First, we have Miss Ice Spice, who has a brand new one out featuring Central C in the lead up to her latest LP, or really her big debut commercial album, Y2K. And yes, it's as awful and as obnoxious as you could imagine, not only given that it's Central C, but also on top of it, Ice Spice is like recycling the same flow. Again, like, we need another flow. We need another song that doesn't sound like at least a few songs that you've released up until this point. We need something different, something refreshing. You know, I kind of feel like we're, you know, we haven't even put the whole album out yet, and we're already like, you know, low on gas in the tank. Let's be a little refreshing. Okay, moving on. Next after that, speaking of stale, new one from Katy Perry, Woman's World, is the title of the track, and it basically sounds like some basic electropop set to some lyrics that are just like 2010, 2011 girl boss feminism, and that's it. That's literally it. We don't need it. And from what I understand, it's like already fallen down off of the Spotify charts within a matter of a couple days. It's pretty terrible. All right. The tracks that I was on the fence with, wasn't crazy about, but you might like them more than me. They are as follows. Starting with number one, this new one from YG, which features Babyface Ray and Lil Yachty. I really think the chorus and YG and the hook are carrying this one. Unfortunately, Lil Yachty and Babyface Ray don't bring that much to the track. They're kind of dead weight on the song, if anything. Could have been a lot sparkier and punchier if not for the fact that you have these forgettable features on the cut. Moving on from there, Trust, with you know, some danceable electronic gothic pop, I suppose you could say. Very synthy, a little grim, very moody. I wish I messed with Trust's vocals more. All at Once is the title of the track. It's a vibe though. And, you know, for sure, like, this is going to be a banger in the goth club. If anyone were to DJ it, that's for sure. All right, moving on from there. Toro et Moi, new album on the way. Latest single from it. This one features Kevin Abstract as well as Lev. And it's a very spacey, dreamy ballad. Not as bold as the last single, but, you know, I suppose if you're looking for something that's really soft on the ears and alluring, this is the one. Moving on from there, we have a new one from none other than Show Me the Body, who's kind of like riffs and transitions and multiple phases throughout this new track of theirs. I'm not really crazy about. It Burns is the title of the cut, and yeah, I just wish it was more cohesive at the end of the day. There are multiple parts where it kind of changes, and as a result, like the whole vibe kind of sours, and it really kind of loses me. Moving on from there, Lana Del Rey and Quavo have gotten together on a brand new collaboration. Lana really kind of going back to her Lust for Life era, you know, doing a bit of a, you know, hip hop crossover sort of thing. And, you know, I think Quavo's intro weighs the whole thing down quite a bit, but once their vocals are together and they're kind of singing, you know, all at once and all that, it does sound quite nice. I do think it does marry pretty well at various points of the song, even if it's not like, you know, one of my favorite Lana tracks. The drama is low. You know, I love all those ballads on the new LP where the drama is high. This one, again, to my ears, kind of mild. But, you know, as far as a rap crossover, It's not bad. All right, moving on from there, Orville Peck. Orville Peck, who has been teasing toward a new project with feature after feature, collaboration after collaboration. And I love the fact that Orville Peck is just getting more attention than ever, more respect, really getting his flowers. His last LP was loaded with great songs. And, you know, to my ears, a lot of these collaborations, a lot of these crossovers that we've been hearing in the lead up to this project have not been amazing. I feel like that is also the case for this new one with Beck, Death Valley High. I just don't really feel like the vocals marry well. It just comes across as a bit awkward. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a record that I'm just on the fence with, unfortunately, given everything I've heard so far. But, you know, I still feel like Orville Peck is a super talented artist. I think it's really more, you know, a matter of like just all these collaborations not quite, you know, working per se. But it is for sure an ambitious attempt on his part to work with all these people and, you know, try to make every single, you know, song and guest spot have a different vibe, a different direction. It's a big undertaking, you know, that he's doing on this record. That's for sure. All right, moving on from there, DJ Mustard also getting ambitious on this track, Pray For Me. It is the 10-minute closer to his yet to be released upcoming album. And yes, it's almost like a credits roll kind of moment where he's like thanking everybody and shouting everybody out and appreciating everybody who pretty much helped him get to where he is today. You know, it's got a great vibe. Loving the gospel influences. And, you know, given that DJ Mustard isn't really known for his rapping, the rapping across the track is very solid and is very frank. It's just that it's 10 minutes long and it's mostly just like thank yous and stuff like that. It does kind of like wear on you after a while, even if like, you know, the sentiment is most definitely there. We have a new one from Moses Sumney, Gold Coast. Wish this one had a bit stronger of a vocal presentation and structure. I feel like it does kind of blend together at the end of the day, the various parts of the song. That is, we have a new one from Magdalena Bay, whose lead vocals I also wish were a bit bolder and not so quite manipulated to the point where they just sound so dreamy and maybe a little, you know, I guess like difficult to connect with. I remember the singing and vocals being a bit bolder on the last record. With that being said, though, I do feel like this new one, Image, is a solid tune and has some great production and grooves behind it. Moving on from there, Kesha, Joyride, is getting really zany on this new cut. I think she is trying to really rekindle something on this track. We are moving away from the trauma and the ballads and, you know, the heavy introspection of the past couple of records. And she is hitting us with something that is wild, that is tongue-in-cheek, that is just a little out of control, like the Kesha that many fans knew and loved when she broke onto the music scene, you know, and kind of popped off in the early 2010s. There are some parts of this track that go hard. There are some parts that are just a wee bit cringe, like the Mother line, but, you know, it is what it is. We will sort of take it, I suppose. Joyride. You know, it's a little gaga. It's a lot of things, you know, I'll say that. It's very entertaining, but also kind of a mess too, you know, and I think we can leave it there. All right, moving on from there. JoJo Siwa, Guilty Pleasure, new track, which is passable. It's actually not nearly as annoying as Karma. I feel like it would actually be a pretty decent song if a better vocalist were on it. But with JoJo, with the production that's, you know, being lent to the track, it's palatable. And I feel like that's the best thing that can be said about it. All right, we have Jessie, Ware, and Romy teaming up on a brand new cut. I wish it was more exciting, but unfortunately, I feel like they kind of cancel each other out a little bit, and their respective styles kind of get thrown out the window, and they just end up making this really generic dance pop tune from the mid-2000s that doesn't have that much personality to it. Lift You Up is the name of the track. Just kind of wish it sounded more interesting. We have a new one from Illuminati Hotties, which I think is just kind of okay if you're looking for some low-key indie rock that is going to put you into a mood. Didn't is the title of the song. It features Cave Town. We have one from Cults, if you're looking for something that kind of sounds like some moody mid-century pop and pop rock. That's a bit spacey and, kind of cinematic at points as well. Could most definitely, I suppose, soundtrack a scene out of Twin Peaks. You could most certainly say that. Hung the Moon is the title of the latest single from their forthcoming album, To the Ghosts. And we have a new one from Beabadoobie. Sparkly little ballad on this one that didn't necessarily stick with me, but the vibe is most certainly there. And let's move on to the best tracks of the week. They are as follows. Bam, new one from Nilüfer, Yanya. This one is a very pained and heavy ballad, I would say. It's sweet on the ears. It is mystifying, but there is something that is like just kind of deeply, deeply sad about the mood of it too. That is difficult to ignore. I will say that. Call It Love is the name of the song. Moving on from there, we have a new one from Tommy Cash, which also features Salvatore, Ganacci. And it's kind of their like own little quirky, strange take on like ass and titties. The interpolation comes in on the chorus, and everything up until that point is absolutely wild and highly entertaining. I will say that. We have a new one from Parannoul. It is lo-fi, it is shoegazy, it is entrancing, it is gorgeous. It's a wee bit harsh, but kind of in all the right ways. And I'm just really loving the vibe on this one. I know Parannoul tracks, this homespun music project that has a very strong cult following on the internet has been a little hit or miss for me across the catalog so far. The last single I was not crazy about. This one is really kind of doing it for me. So again, if you're looking for something that is fuzzy, psychedelic, lo-fi, shoegazy, and with an epic song structure to it too, most definitely check out this track, Painless is the title. Moving on from there, the Osees are back with another single, Earthling, some really warped, weird, post-punky, experimental garage rock with some totally freaked out vocals that I feel like a Devo fan would most definitely appreciate. From there, we have Nails, who are totally fucking tearing ass, tearing off heads, tearing off limbs, tearing off skin, burning innocent people with hot coals on this new track titled Give Me the Painkiller. And it's essentially the band kind of taking their very aggressive, loud, in-your-face power violence and, metalcore sound, but they're applying it to like a piece of heavy metal, a piece of speed metal. In fact, with like the guitar riffs and the, breakneck solos and so on and so forth. And it works. And it most definitely works. It's interesting to hear the band kind of like, again, take their usual aggression and heaviness and just kind of apply it to a different metal genre and still kind of make it feel like it's very much in their wheelhouse stylistically. All right, we have a new one from JOBA, obviously of Brockhampton fame, who has come through with a very surprising single titled American Fever, and he's kind of doing like this big dramatic piano ballad that's like super heavily arranged type of thing. Think Harry Nilsson, think Elton John, think Billy Joel, which I know there may be a lot of people, watching who are not the biggest fans of those artists, but believe me, he puts his own little spin on it. And I may not be totally crazy about the vocals, but the song is there, the ambition is there, the production is actually super impressive. And really looking forward to what he has coming down the pipe, given just how, I did not expect what he is doing here and how well he's actually kind of pulling it off. All right, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard are back with a brand new track, Le Risque. It's a piece of a boogie-woogie rock and roll with some silly little vocals. It's a lot of fun. It's tongue-in-cheek. It's obviously not taking itself too seriously. And it's just here to rock and have a good time. It's a kick-ass, fun little single. I'm liking it quite a bit. Just kind of feels like the band is letting loose and doing their thing with a smile on their face. Moving on from there, Childish Gambino has come through with a brand new single, which is titled Lithonia. And Donald Glover is like doing like a whole almost like 90s sad boy grunge rock adjacent thing, and it's got some powerful choruses. I feel like he really kind of like captures the moment in terms of a lot of the nihilism and the hopelessness that many people are facing in this current day and age. And I just feel like it's a banger single. interesting stylistic switch up, and excited to hear him maybe dabble in more stuff along these lines, given just how good this track came out. And I will leave it there. All right, we have a new one from Floating Points. It's a entrancing little piece of techno with maybe some kind of basic synth patches, but you know, the changes and the builds and the percussion is most certainly there. Key 103 is the title of this one. A couple more. Eminem with Big Sean and BabyTron totally killing it on this new track, Tobey. Love the bars, love the vibe, love the energy. Love how they're kind of like, you know, referencing each other a little bit on their respective verses here and there. It's playful. It's intense, it's entertaining, and goes hard as hell. And, you know, review for the new Eminem album on the way very soon. And finally, Dog Race, whose stuff I have been loving quite a bit lately. They have come out with a brand new single titled The Leader. If you're looking for some good quality goth rock with some literally like cultish lyrics and very striking lead vocals and an amazing chorus, make sure to not only listen to this song, again, The Leader, but also their last single they came out with a while ago, To The Squeeze. So yeah, that is going to be it. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the weekly track roundup. You're the best. Over here next to my head is another video that you could check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks of forever.